That was quite a season, wasn't it? Well, I'm back once again, almost completely forgetting I had to go over my predictions for this year's NASCAR season. Ever since I went back to in-person classes a couple months ago, I sort of lose my focus on my own personal projects and usually just start to binge watch a couple of YouTube and some other shows on streaming services. Well, enough slacking around. Let's see how I did for 2021, and I hope the numbers are good. Prediction number 1 in trucks. Hailie Deegan will finish in the top 10 twice. Right off the bat, I knew she was going to be underwhelming. I would have been right if I said she'd only get one, but I wanted to up the ante a bit and say she could go beyond that. I should have stuck with my original decision there. Prediction number 2. Kyle Busch will win all but one race he's allowed to compete in. That prediction fell through after Richmond. On a related note, I thought KBM would still struggle regardless of who got tapped to drive one of his trucks. Todd Gilliland and Rafael Assad each had one win during their stint with the team, and they were the only ones made by a full-time driver. And that was basically my reasoning. I thought KBM was going to be in such a slump. Prediction number 3. All 5 GMS racing trucks will win at least once. This prediction fell flat once Rafael Assad was released from the team. Ankrum was inconsistent throughout the season. Purdy flat out sucked. Smith didn't win until Martinsville, yet he was the most consistent out of all of them. And Creed won 3 times this year. I'd probably get a better prediction if I said all entries from a top Cup Series team would win. Prediction number 4. Chase Purdy will win Rookie of the Year. I did not expect him to struggle this badly in top GMS racing equipment. You'd think that when you're driving with one of the best dominant teams in the Truck Series, you'd get good results. And to add insult to injury, COVID wouldn't even let him race in the regular season finale. Prediction number 5. The Championship 4 will consist of Austin Hill, Zane Smith, Ben Rhodes, and Sheldon Creed. At least I got half of my Final 4 correct, and I underestimated KBM and John Hunter Nemechek so much during preseason that it was probably the one thought that aged horribly. And Matt Crafton making the Final 4 without a win like 2019 when he exposed the playoffs was something I personally did not see coming either. Transitioning over to the Xfinity Series, prediction number 1. 3 drivers will score their first career win. It's always predictions like these where my number's too low. Once I saw Ty Gibbs, Myatt Snyder, and Josh Bailey in victory lane, I thought that would be it. But we saw first-time winners at both Talladega races, and even Daniel Hemrick snuck in with the championship race win at the last second. Maybe I should set up a higher number next year. Prediction number 2. Daniel Hemrick will win exactly 2 races. I swear, if you ask me which driver had the worst luck, Hemrick would have been my answer. I mean, he could never catch a break. Every time he got so close to winning, he ended up with a top 5 finish or wrecked out in incidents that weren't even his own fault to begin with. He just gets robbed every time. Well, after he finally won at Phoenix as well as the championship, I'm going to go all out and root for him as much as I can, no exception. Prediction number 3. AJ Allmendinger will make the round of 8. Finally, my first correct prediction this year, and it was already a no-brainer. I said this because I was predicting he would score a win at the Charlotte Roval, and that bad luck in the round of 8 would prevent him from making the championship 4. In the end, it was quite a perfect season for him, being consistently dominant all year long. Prediction number 4. The championship 4 will consist of Noah Gragson, Austin Cindric, Brandon Jones, and Justin Haley. Another one where I was half right. You know, predictions like these are hard when they have to be 100% accurate. I thought Haley was going to make it in at Martinsville until mechanical issues screwed up his race. For Brandon Jones, I just shrugged and thought, what the heck, he may get it done. But he didn't even win this year and wasn't as consistent as the top drivers. He was at that level though, but it just wasn't enough. And prediction number 5, Austin Cindric will win back-to-back Xfinity Series championships. Oh my god. That finish. I thought Cindric had the championship in the bag until Daniel Hemric made the move of the season and grabbed the win. I was so excited, I burst out of my room watching in awe at the sight of Hemric finally winning a race. But at the same time, I wanted to keep my voice down because I was going to record the starting grid for the Cup race right after. And now Hemric is my new favorite Xfinity Series driver for that move alone. And I hope he wins a lot more with kart racing next year. That finish was just incredible. And now my predictions for Cup. Prediction number 1. 2 drivers will score their first career win. Never in my life did I expect 2 first-time winners in a row for the first 2 races of the season, and they weren't even who I was expecting. Not even Christopher Bell. I thought his first win would come in 2022. And also, this would have stayed true until rain cut Talladega short and let Bubba win, but overall, why am I downplaying that? I'm happy for everyone who got win number 1, especially Bubba. Prediction number 2. Chase Elliott will win exactly 2 road course races. I think one of the first comments I got since I uploaded that video was someone disagreeing with this prediction and saying he'll win at least half of them. And I was being reasonable and thinking about all the worst case scenarios that could happen to him during these races, because Chase sweeping all of the road course races last year was, to me, not just skill, but I think luck was also involved, and that played a factor in those wins. Prediction number 3. More than half the races on the schedule will be held without fans. Well, that was an epic fail. I thought the pandemic would get worse even after almost everybody got vaccinated, which it did when the Delta variant kicked in and caused the vaccine effectiveness to pretty much drop down by half, and that there would be another mass surge of cases that would cause NASCAR to reverse their decisions. But, I mean, of course, they're not going to do that now. Prediction number 4. Joe Gibbs Racing will score more wins than Hendrick Motorsports. Where did Hendrick come from? Seriously, I thought the only high note that would happen after 2017 would be that Chase Elliott would win the championship and that would be it. But no, apparently hiring Kyle Larson would be the right call, and he'd make up a majority of victories for the team this year. Not to mention Alex Bowman broke through with multiple wins, and every Hendrick driver won this season. It's like coming back from the dead. Prediction number 5. There will be a total of 12 different winners throughout the season. How about 15? Some of the biggest shockers to me was Michael McDowell at race number 1 of the season, AJ Allmendinger with the team going part-time, and Bubba Wallace giving 23XI Racing its first win in its first season. You know, I'm always underachieving when it comes to predictions like this. The numbers are always too low. Prediction number 6. 3 drivers that won a race in 2020 will not win again this year. If I simplified which 3 drivers wouldn't have won, that would have been a completely different story, and one of them was not Kevin Harvick. Prediction number 7. Kurt Busch will finish higher in points than Ross Chastain. After Kurt ended up winning a race this year and guaranteeing himself a spot in the playoffs while Chastain didn't, it pretty much sealed the deal. And now that Chip Ganassi Racing's out of NASCAR, I'll have to find another team for me to make the same prediction for next year. Prediction number 8. Joey Logano will win more races than both of his Penske teammates combined. Couldn't make it to 5, unfortunately, and his only win this year didn't even take place on asphalt. Prediction number 9. William Byron will not win a race or make the playoffs. If the Homestead race had gone on a lot further, I guarantee you we would see Tyler Reddick in the winner's circle. But honestly, I didn't have great first impressions with this new crew chief, so that's why I made this decision. Prediction number 10. Kevin Harvick will be the only Stewart-Haas driver to win a race. It took 22 races for a Stewart-Haas driver to finally win in 2021, but it was Almirola instead of Harvick. And to think that the former was just 27th in points at the time, and also he was the only Stewart-Haas century to win. So there actually was one Stewart-Haas century, it just wasn't who I thought it was. Prediction number 11. Ford will win the most races. Around half the season at Chevys they were victorious, and 2 of those races didn't have a Hendrick driver in victory lane. Man, I gotta admit, I underestimated Hendrick Motorsports a lot during preseason. Prediction number 12. A win will be rescinded due to disqualification. Now, usually when it comes to disqualification, I think 3 times overall has it ever happened to a winner in the lower divisions. The only disqualifications I saw in Cup this year were Chase Elliott at Nashville and Chris Buescher at the Daytona Night Race, and they didn't finish first. I'm still waiting on that one moment. Prediction number 13. I will personally be asked for an autograph by a fan who recognizes me at Sonoma. When I said that in the video, it was the beginning of an experiment to see how many fans would know me from Little Voice. At first, I didn't get much luck, only scoring a fist bump from someone who I believe was on the autism spectrum as well, but it wasn't until Sunday that this prediction would come true. My dad works for a company that has special credentials, and we get free tickets to see the race from a tent along with other people that work there, and he told them all about how I was a star on Little Voice, and only after that did they ask for autographs. I signed 3 in total that day, all of them from the tent. Prediction number 14. Eric Jones will finish between 21st and 25th in points. As soon as I found out that he would be with Richard Petty Motorsports this year, I thought to myself that he would see a regression, especially considering how Bubba fared in his first 2 seasons with the team. Prediction number 15. A photo finish will only occur once. A big old goose egg number of photo finishes, if I can recall correctly. I'm not including the ones that ended under caution, like what we saw with the Daytona 500. They have to be at the start-finish line in order to count. Prediction number 16. Anthony Alfredo will be the highest finishing rookie in 6 races. Last year, when I made the prediction with John Hunter Nemechek, it was way too low, so I thought that 6 was a pretty reasonable number, especially considering that the rookie class is just 2 drivers. And I thought I had it sealed after Martinsville, but Briscoe crashed before Alfredo at Phoenix, and even after that, the number was still too low. Prediction number 17. Chris Buescher will have more top 20 finishes than Ryan Newman. Truth be told, I only scrolled through both Roush drivers' racing reference pages once for further research on this prediction, and lo and behold, there was a huge difference, not just for that statistic, but also for the standings in general. Buescher outperformed Newman in every way this year, and that's a shame for the latter, especially if he's unable to find a ride next season. Prediction number 18. Daniel Suarez will not finish higher than 25th in points. Okay, I'll admit that I downplayed Trackhouse Racing Team at the start of the season by saying that they wouldn't be a serious contender to win and just be another backmarker like Spire Motorsports or Rick Ware. Suarez managed to satisfy me after a 4th place finish at the Bristol Dirt Race. I believe they're taking a couple of baby steps into really proving themselves to be a dominant team. Prediction number 19. Bubba Wallace will not win a race. Holy crap, I am glad I got this wrong. Just being in a class and waiting anxiously for NASCAR to call the race at Talladega was a situation unlike anything else. It was so worth it as well. Prediction number 20. The dirt race at Bristol will have fewer ratings than the inaugural race at the Circuit of the Americas. Apparently, people like dirt tracks more than road courses because Bristol received a higher rating and view count than COTA, even though they raced on a Monday at this facility. Prediction number 21. Denny Hamlin will not make the Final Four. And once again, Hamlin does make the Final Four based on consistency, but like always, he gets screwed over once again of his first championship. Prediction number 22. The playoffs will consist of Kurt Busch, Brad Keselowski, Austin Dillon, Kevin Harvick, Kyle Larson, Tyler Reddick, Chase Elliott, Denny Hamlin, Ryan Blaney, Kyle Busch, Martin Truex Jr., Joey Logano, Cole Custer, Ross Chastain, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., and Alex Bowman. Nope, this prediction didn't turn out as well as last year, especially since there were 3 drivers not on my list that won the first 3 races. And I wasn't expecting Eric Almirola to get a breakthrough victory in New Hampshire either. Prediction number 23. The 2021 NASCAR Cup Series champion will not win the final race at Phoenix. That's the 8th straight year where that has happened, and it's all been under the current playoffs format. I just want something different, where a non-championship Ford driver wins the race, and then another driver inside the Final Four wins the championship. When's that ever gonna happen? Only time will tell. Prediction number 24. A previous champion will win another title. I had 50-50 odds coming into the season finale that I would get this one right, and bad news, the result wasn't in my favor. But good news, the guy I was rooting for ended up winning the championship, so that's a plus. And finally, I don't think anyone managed to get the Daytona 500 winner predictions correct, including myself. I mean, who would have thought that Michael McDowell would break through and score his first career win at this race? And to add insult to injury, my pick got caught up in the first big one, which should have happened much later in the race than on lap 14. And holy cow, that is worse than how I did last year. Only 7 correct, and that's no lucky number. I guess that means I have to up my ante a bit more, become more of a psychic, and study this season over again to prepare for 2022. But I don't know how the next gen cars will affect the racing performance-wise, so looking into it more, there probably won't be a difference. I guess I'll have to predict blindly how things will play out. Man, next year's gonna be a real challenge. Well, until then, I'll start brainstorming my predictions for the 2022 season, and hopefully I'll improve on my score in the end. See you guys then.